Yeah, that was like the first biggest moment for me as a coach. And it became, that was the drug, man. I wanted that
It is.
every weekend. Quit like a month and a half later because it was too hard. And he didn't really like me when I first came into the gym. And then he looks at me and goes, "Nah, I think I like you a lot." And I was like, "All right,
Hey,
let's talk
okay.
about this. Let's talk about this." The Philly crowd hated us. Someone was like throwing beers. It was wild. I mean, Evolve was pretty wild back in the day.
Yeah. Yo,
Yo, yo, yo.
what's happening?
What's going on, man?
How are you, brother?
Good. Let me figure this out. I am
Yeah, take your time.
39 years old, but I'm 49 years old with technology.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, well, you're doing better than me. I'm still surprised I'm able to pull this off every week.
Yeah, dude, you're killing it, man.
Thank
It's
you, thank you,
working.
thank you. Yeah, when COVID happened, and like I literally wouldn't have got through that time period without my wife, because I mean, she's literally the smartest person I've ever met in my entire life. But like, she's also just like one of those people that just like it doesn't matter what it is, she'll figure it out and like get it done. You know what I mean? Like,
I
yeah.
married one of those too, man. I got lucky.
Yes,
I
my
got
man.
real lucky. Punching way above my weight class at this
Yeah,
point.
same here, brother. Hell yeah. So yeah, so man, I remember when we had to do the like the virtual classes and shit, like every day. I'm like, babe, and I got it, and she was just fired up and stuff. So yeah, I'm trying to make some adjustments to this thing at some point and start recording through here, but then also through this other software thing or whatever. So we'll see. But for now,
Cool.
it's working, man. It's working. And yeah, so I appreciate. I know we messed up. I messed up the time last time. It's been a crazy couple of weeks. I know you shit. I know you've been right there with me too. But I
Yeah,
appreciate you
man.
coming on, man. It means a lot.
Appreciate having me, man. I'm just binging your episodes, man.
Oh
While we're
man.
building the gym out, like I've been able to
Yeah.
knock them out like back to back, a few of them.
Oh, that's all,
So
man.
it's
Thank you
cool.
so much. It's such a crazy thing because I'm like committed to doing it, just because it's honestly been like a really a fun thing for me. Just I think we talked about a little bit, like we see each other all the time, like in passing, but we don't really get to like know each other like that.
Yeah.
And I feel like everyone I do get to talk to in the sport, like I'm like, damn, that motherfucker's so cool, like you know what I mean?
Dude,
So
exactly. That's what I'm getting out of you. It's like Gemma's was so good.
who's
So
oh
good.
Oh yeah, oh my God, that was
Dude,
a yeah, it was an
so good.
incredible episode.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is that what we lost an
I
episode. So
know. Yeah.
yeah, we filmed the whole one, and man, that one was just as good. Yeah, she's special for sure.
What a killer human being, man. And then I just listened to Vinny's, and it's funny that you're bringing this up because when you guys glazed over striking corner, like
Yeah.
that was how I got through. So I went to college late. I went back to college like at 27,
Mm-hmm.
and I had this one class, man. It was like, so I'm a kinesiology major, so we had like an energy systems class. So we had to, like, at the beginning of the year, the semester, we had to pick a modality. It was like treadmill, rower, blah 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 blah. So I ended up on a rower. So we had like predetermined workouts based upon a testing number at the very beginning of the semester, and we had to get X amount of these workouts done by the end of the semester. And we did some tests along the way. It was cool. It was actually a pretty cool class. But man, I was spending like 20, 30 minutes in that rower at a time, like for
Oh
school,
shit. Yeah.
And I was doing competitive Olympic weightlifting. So I was like
Oh
already
damn.
super tired, and
Yeah.
I would just be doing these crazy sprints in a row. But man, Vin busting Eric's balls was like my background noise. It was
Oh
really
my
cool.
God, bro, they are
Yeah.
incredible.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. But this is cool because like you're now becoming the cornerstone of like not just East Coast, but like our podcast world, which is cool. That's
Yeah,
really
thank
cool.
you. I'm hoping to. I think it's like a weird thing to take on a little bit. But I like I said, well, if you've been watching, then like I said, it kind of was born a little bit out of that era that we had before COVID, like how it was just such an awesome time. And I feel like part of it had to have been, the striking corner, and then even the Muay Thai guy, and then Paul
Yeah.
getting involved and all, you know what I mean? Like there
Yep.
was just yeah, I don't know. There was a I feel like there was a lot of love, but there was also like platforms for the love too. So I just want to hoping to try to bring some back a little bit.
we need it, man. There's a supply or there's a demand and you're the supply. This is great.
Awesome, man.
It's really
Thank you
cool.
so much. That means the world. Kinesiology, that's badass. So did you finish all the way through school for that?
Yeah, yep. I ended up finishing.
Damn.
So I went pretty hard my first two. Dude, I graduated from high school and I took a year off, and
Mhm.
I went to community college. We have a really good local community college actually. And my first year, man, I didn't have a car, so I would borrow my mother's car. And because my like the first car I got, I had it for 2 days. My tranny dropped out in the middle of
Oh
like a main
shit.
road. But so I would borrow my mother's car. So there's two schools. One was down the street from me, and then if you were photography, uh, act, dance, act, whatever that stuff is, fine arts. No, fine arts.
Yeah, that
Performing
sounds
arts.
right. Yeah,
Performing
performing. There
arts.
you go. Yeah.
You went to the satellite school, which is like 4 towns over. So it was like a 25-minute ride. So sorry, mom, if you listen to this. I don't think I've ever thought of this. So I would take her car because it's the only night that I got was Wednesday night. And my class would be 4:45 to like 7:45. You just like, it's one day a week. You just chunk it out. And so I was a photography major when I first went to college. I wanted to be a crime
Okay.
scene photographer.
Oh wow.
And yeah, I wanted to get into the nasty stuff. But very quickly, because I had my mother's car, I had a car one day a week, I did everything but go to class. I
Oh
would
shit.
grab one of my best friends, Ryan, lived down the street. I would grab him and we would just go to like punk rock shows. We would just mess around. I started dating this girl like 45 minutes in the other direction. I'd go drive and see her one night a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't do it too well in school. The college floor was not for me.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, actually, and I ended up getting into Muay Thai because I wasn't doing anything else in my time except working. And yeah, so I went back to school like full time. Like I really leaned into it at probably like 27, and I just went super hard at the beginning. So I was working. It was right at the end of my fight career, and then I was just doing one class at a time until I finished. So it took me like, realistically, man, it took me like 5 years to finish a 4-year degree that I could have probably banged out even sooner than 4 years. But I did it, and it was worth
Yeah.
it, man. It was worth it. I really
That's
enjoyed it.
huge. Yeah, I went to I don't think I I don't think a lot of guys like we're ready for college right out of high school. We just don't know what the fuck we're doing. You know what I mean?
Not no, man. I have a brother who's 8 years younger than me. He's my youngest, and I
Yeah.
look at even that difference. Like we're within the same generation, so to speak. But like our generation versus his generation, like the paths were not clear, nearly as clear
Yeah.
for us as they are for them now.
Definitely. Yeah, it's definitely a little different now. We had my wife's nephew was living with us for a couple years, and we were trying to help him get on track, like help him go to college and just like all the shit. I didn't have anybody like looking over my shoulder like, "Hey, you should be doing this." And so we were trying to do that for him. And yeah, there's definitely like cuz I'm like, "Man, if you like video games, like you can become like a video game designer. There's so much cool shit you can do now and go to school for, you know?"
Crazy, crazy.
Yeah, I went. And then I actually went to community college when I was 28, and I went to do like videography and photography and stuff like that too. So I really just wanted to learn how to use the camera to make videos and to edit.
Mm.
And I went and I talked to them, and I was like about looking at all the gen ed stuff, and then I was telling the lady like what my goals were, and she was like, "Oh, well, you could just do the certificate program where like," and then she explained it to me. So I was like, "Wait, wait, wait." So I was like, "I don't have to do math or anything. Like I can just go and like do photography." And then she was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, sign me up for that."
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I never even got it. I honestly didn't even finish and get this damn certificate because once I learned how to use everything, I was just started
Dude.
making videos and making shit.
Yep.
So yeah, that's
Mhm.
funny. But you were already doing Muay Thai before you went to the college for kinesiology then.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Okay.
got into Muay Thai when I was 20. So actually, my 20th birthday gift. I was born in May. My 20th birthday gift was a membership to my parents paid for 3 month membership at the gym that we had done our intro at, and which is crazy because like we did our intro, we did like go in, you sit and watch whatever, and they actually changed locations. So they were north of the city first, so it's like
Mhm.
super hard for me to get to, and then it was just south of the city. And where I was living with my parents, I was like well south of the city. So an hour and 15-minute ride turned into a 45-minute ride, 40-minute ride. So it was like feasible. But
Yeah.
we we did our intro class, chilled, and then I was like, no, I need to like be in shape before I go to Muay Thai. So I
Yeah,
asked my
yeah, I did the
parents,
same thing.
dude,
Yeah,
I'm still surprised at how many people come into our gym or even Hard Knocks when we're there and they're like, hey, I just got to get in shape and I'm gonna be back in 3 months. It's like,
yeah,
we'll get you there. Like that's
yeah,
our
yeah.
job,
That's
dude.
our whole thing. Yeah,
No, so I ended up they just got me a membership instead of a membership to the Y. They got me a membership to Boston Muay Thai Academy, and
yeah,
yeah, so I started. Dude, I started probably like the next week,
yeah,
and then I quit like a month and a half later because it was too hard.
yeah.
I'm not afraid to admit that. Dude, I went with two of my buddies. That was like the whole thing is we're all gonna start it together, and we all did karate. Um, uh, Mike trained at a different dojo, and me and Pat were at a different dojo together. And I quit at like 3 months. Pat quit at like 8 or 9 months, and then my boy Mike stuck with it. And Mike was and is still just one of those physical phenoms. Like
Yeah.
his father used to make him dig holes in the backyard and fill him in when he was in trouble.
Oh shit.
So when he was a kid, he was like that kid, that 12-year-old with abs and a mustache. So
Yeah.
he he did karate, and actually that's how we ended up becoming friends, was through karate. And then when he stuck with it, he ended up having his first fight at like 9 months. So I had quit, and I had just been like skateboarding, eating Milanos, and drinking vitamin water, and I was just fucking fat and out of shape. And we went to go see Mike's fight. We went to Philly, Evolved Fighting. Do you remember that? Angel
Yeah.
Story? Yeah,
Yeah. Oh
that's where I had
shit.
most of my fights. Yeah, so that's where
Yeah.
Mike fought. And
Okay.
dude, watching him, it was sick, dude. The Philly crowd hated us. Someone was like throwing beers. It was wild. I mean, Evolve was pretty wild back in the day.
Yeah.
Um, so after Mike's fight, and I mean, he did great. He won. It was just like, oh shit, this is what I want to do. Like,
Right.
I played team sports most of my life: soccer, baseball, basketball. But like, to be, selfishly like the center of attention, but also the person who's at fault for, not performing. I was like, this is what I want to do. So, I mean, right after that, I was like, I got to get back to it. So I got back to it, and very quickly. And then I ended up having my first fight like a year later. And then it was just like a rocket ship for 6, 7 years.
Yeah.
Started taking small.
It gets a hold of you. It gets in your system. Yeah.
Crazy, man. It's exactly what karate was for me, but like times 10.
Yeah.
Times 10. I lucked out big time. My sensei, Bob Bethany, he's still around. He's a karate Hall of Famer. Um, he is the highest ranked black belt in Weijiu in America. So, and I know like people bust balls about like more traditional martial arts and stuff. Like if you've done an Okinawan style of karate, like it's gnarly, man. Like body
Hell yeah.
conditioning, long, long days. Like it was cool, man. I wasn't great, and I was honestly wasn't great at Muay Thai either. But I had like, I just worked hard. I really enjoyed it, and I hyper focused on it. And I would stay to watch the black belts, or we would come early. Me and Pat would come early to watch the black belts. I just knew like some sort of this physical combat thing, this one-on-one thing is what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But my sensei was like, man, you had to know everything about the dojo. You had to know everything about the martial art. And he competed in some full contact karate. So it's like,
Right.
oh, there's a way to like really compete with this stuff. And it was this festival that's held in Okinawa May of every year. So it was like, my birthday's in May. So I was like, oh man, maybe I can like, that's my birthday gift, get a flight,
Right.
fight in Japan. And that wasn't realistic at all.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, just having that, like, I didn't know anything else. Like that was the bar in combat sports. Know everything about your sport, know everything about or the art, know everything about your sensei or who's in charge of you, and know everything about everyone who came before them. So then when
Yeah.
I went to Boston Muay Thai, that dude was my coach, Steve Soriano, and then his second in command, Bill Newcomb, who you guys all know very
Yeah.
well. He wasn't too far behind Steve in terms of that, but Steve was the guy for a long time
Yeah.
in the world of Muay Thai, especially in Boston. So I just, it's easy to become infatuated when you have this like super cool, like it's more than just hitting a bag and elbowing each other in the head. Like you got to know what you're doing and why you're doing it. It's cool. It's really cool.
Absolutely. No, so I'm a black belt in Kyokushin also and Taekwondo. Yeah. I started off in Taekwondo and actually had somebody tap me at a tournament and was like, you should be doing Kyokushin. Like you're not a, and I was kind of like, I remember being pissed and like, it wasn't like, we didn't have YouTube back then. So I couldn't like, and my mom was really cool and, helped me find a place. We went and checked it out because he was just, he explained to me that it was, a little bit more like I was kind of like a little brute in Muay Thai or in Taekwondo. So we checked it out, and then yeah, I was like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I've been talking about that a lot lately. I think it's really cool to actually see like I remember there was a time when yeah, I mean shit, even in my early days of doing Muay Thai, like the tone has changed when you make that statement of like, oh, he's a TKD guy or he's a karate guy. Like before it used to be like he's a karate guy, you know what I mean? And now it's like, oh no, he's a karate guy. Like they
Yeah.
know they got some extra shit you got to watch out for, you know what I mean? So no,
Yeah.
I think it's awesome.
When I started Muay Thai, so the way the schedule was, it was morning and night classes, and Steve only worked nights at the gym because he worked the mornings as a correctional officer, and Bill did like most weekday mornings, and then he did Friday night, which is a sparring night, and then he came back Saturday morning. So I got to like kind of know Bill because I was mostly at night, and Bill was just like when I first started Muay Thai, like my first week of sparring, Bill was 38 and was like a month off from his last fight. So he was like still fresh. He was in there sparring with us. He'd lace up, like he put it down too. And that dude's tough as nails.
Yeah.
He's like, he taught us how to be like mean. Like
Yeah.
what we got from karate, me, Mike, and Pat, when we started Muay Thai, was like, you have to be effective. But a lot of that's like, this is how I would hit the throat, and I'm going to circle
Right.
block and nugate. It's like
Yeah.
Bill's like, this is that you're gonna grab him here, and if you're in the street kid, you just fall straight to the ground. You break their nose, no problem.
Yeah.
So Bill would like teach you these little things, and he put that like gnarly edge on Muay Thai, which obviously captivated us more, being rough youth. But yeah, I mean that he. I didn't want to tell anyone that I did karate. Like we didn't tell anyone. We just put it on our sheet or whatever. And Bill never saw the intake sheet. He just, we were in class or whatever. And he saw me practicing my turning sidekick on the bag one day. And he goes, who taught you that? And I told him, I was like, oh, I did karate for a little bit. So what kind of karate? He started like digging. Turns out he had done Wei-Jiu when he was younger.
Oh
And he
shit.
was like, you should have taught. And like at this point, this was when I had come back. So I was like getting close to fighting, and I was starting to work out more with Bill. And he's like, dude, we'll put some of the stuff in your game. So
Yes.
like, I mean, I just posted my first fight. My opponent, who's now my boy James, we found the DVD of our first smoker, and like Jesus Christ, I don't even know when it was. So I was 21, yeah, almost turning 22. So 17 years ago. And in it, you can see me throwing my question mark kick, turning side kick, back fist, crescent kick. Like you can see all that stuff. Like still, and none of
Yeah.
it landed. None
Yeah.
of it landed. But I was throwing it, and
Yeah.
and it was cool because Bill fostered that. Steve was a little more on the traditional side, even though he did Jeet Kune Do, he did boxing. He just like was really big traditional Muay Thai guy. And Bill was like, hey, this is America, man. Like we got to change kind of what we're doing, especially in 2010, 2009. Like you're
Yeah.
not fighting traditional guys, especially in the Northeast. No way. Maybe you go to New
Right.
York. That's it.
Right. Right. Right.
So he was all about like instead of having that slow first round, having a fast first round.
Yeah.
Instead of always checking a kick, it's like catch the kick and hit him as hard as you can. A
Yeah.
lot of like just he just changed the way we thought about it. And it was cool. I still take some of that to my the way I teach now. It's
Yeah.
a lot of really cool seeds he planted years ago that aren't sprouting until right now.
Yeah, man, that's fire. Yeah, I'm always excited to see it. And I mean, you can tell, like, you can see the difference, like, in the blends of style. And I know that, like I said, I try to incorporate it into the way I coach just because it was how I fought too.
Mm-hmm.
And I just somehow keep getting, it's like the universe is like, oh, you want to do Muay Thai? Okay. And it just like pushes them into my, like, people will come in and I'm like, I was looking at them like, you did a little Taekwondo before? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, I got you. Don't worry.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Like I know the exact path now, how to get them there quick.
yeah.
My kid Trey, it was a Taekwondo. Like he like went to Worlds when he was a kid, and
Wow.
yeah, like was like very serious about it, and then super long break, and then now he's wanting to start doing Muay Thai, and it's definitely helped a lot. I feel like just the mentality and his movement and everything, and then not, if he landed at a different gym, they might have been trying to train all that stuff out of him, and who knows if he would have progressed as fast. So I think
Yeah,
it's cool when coaches can take some of that stuff and sprinkle it in, or just kind of glue it together a little bit more too.
you have to, man. You have to.
So when you started like when you went back and you were like getting ready to fight, how often were you making it over there to train?
So when I was like taking it serious, and I was
Yeah.
like ready to go back in, man, the second I could be there 5, 6 days a week, I was there 5, 6 days a week. And it was,
Nice.
I mean, I didn't think there was any other way to do it.
Yeah.
I saw we had a few decent senior students before us that we were watching fight, and that was still like they were the tail end of Bill's fight team, but like before mine. And there
Hmm.
was like two or three guys, and they were in there often, and they all worked full time jobs and stuff. No one was like a career Muay Thai guy.
Yeah.
It wasn't a thing you could do. But I knew, and Bill made it very very clear that it was like, hey, you guys are young, you don't have kids, you're not working real jobs, like you might as well send this, like give it a go. Uh,
Right.
and then when so Bill has since retired, but he's a correctional officer as well. He would work a 2 to 10 shift, and I was working a 2 to 10 shift, working with kids with special needs. So we would train in the morning from 11 to like 1 ish, and then because a bunch of CO buddies wanted to do it, and there was some Boston police that wanted to do it. He did this thing called Midnight Madness, where he would reopen the gym. Last class would be done at like 9. He'd reopen the gym after he got out of work. He'd come straight from the jail, and he would open the gym at like 11 o'clock, and we would go until like 1 in the morning, and
Nice.
then I'd go home and sleep, and I'd come back. So I was like feasibly doing 2 days for a little bit, which was crazy because like that part of Dorchester where the gym was in that time frame, like now it's a lot nicer. Like it was crazy to
Yeah.
be there that late. Crazy. There's
Yeah.
actually a dude got murdered outside the gym. We were on like a corner, but we were like in the middle of a fork, and there were a bunch of
Yeah.
streets that come off, and like this is like the heart of Dorchester. This was a really rough area,
Yeah.
and during this class, Bill would blast the music because no one's in the building, and we were a third floor, and there was a bag by a window, and I'm hitting the bag, and there's two dudes at the top of Bird Street, top of the street, talking, and I'm hitting the bag, and it's loud, everything's loud, and I just like look back, and one of the dudes is laid out, and this is the way that I remember it. It looked like somebody had like poured a bunch of water out 'cause it was on the top of the street,
Yeah.
and it looked like it was in the shape of an octopus. Like it was just like, yeah, dude got shot, and it must have been a drug deal gone wrong or something. Got shot, and dude, I saw him alive. I hit the bag. I looked over, dead. Just like I've
Oh
never seen that
shit.
much blood from
Yeah.
something like that, and it was like, dude, before we knew, like it like processed, and I went to go get Bill, and just fucking feet running up the stairs. Bunch of detectives and BPD came in. Shut the music off. What are you guys doing here? Blah, 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 blah. Luckily, like I said, that Midnight Madness class was COs and Boston police officers.
Right.
So they were like, all right, children, like we're officers. And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, they held us there for a minute, and they were like, all right, you guys clearly didn't do this. And then after that,
Yeah.
Bill was like, yeah, we can't do this anymore.
Yeah, that's
Look
sketchy.
at this.
Fuck. You catch a murder rap just in there trying to hit the bag.
Crazy, man. I
I
used
think I
to,
was in that building. I think Bill did a weigh-ins there for something at one point. It was because you go all the way up to the top, right? Like the top
yeah,
of the building,
really,
and then
really
there's
thin hallway.
yeah. I think
Did you
so. Unless y'all moved and I was just it sounds similar to the one that we were in. I forget when
remember
this
what year
was.
it was?
Gosh, probably like 2015 or something like that,
Was there a
maybe.
parking lot?
There was like a little baby parking lot, like a row of cars, I feel like.
No,
If
that
I
that was that
remember
was the old
right.
Hard Knocks. Yeah,
Yeah, okay,
there was
yeah.
no parking lot at BMTA. You parked
Yeah,
on the street. I mean, this is like it's one of the main veins in Dorchester that goes
yeah.
to Boston proper. And, I mean, you take all the change out of your change compartment. You don't put
Yeah.
any change in your cup holder.
Shit.
Dude, guys would get their windows broken just for change. They wouldn't take radios. They wouldn't take tires. They just take change. And it wasn't like once in a while. It was
Yeah.
like kind of often. And
Fuck.
then so we all kind of like figured out where to park our cars and when to like carpool and stuff.
Yeah.
We had a dude come upstairs, and you'd come up, and there was a desk, and you look to the right, and there's a training room. And in the training room, right when you go in through the room, there's a bunch of benches on your left, and everyone's hitting bags in the back, and the music's super loud. We had a dude come up, super quiet at the stairs, reach around the corner, just fiddle into whatever purse he could get, whatever bag he get, found a pair of keys, and right as he started booking it, it was actually, I believe it was a woman's purse. She turned, and she goes, "He's got my keys. He's got my keys." We chased this dude down. We got a hold of him. We got those keys back.
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
it was great. It
Yeah.
was just mayhem. It was mayhem.
Worst place to fucking steal a bag from, that's for
All
sure.
right.
Good Lord.
Yeah, that place is gnarly. But now, dude, you go. I mean, I'm sure your area is no different. You go down there now, it's all just like cargo shorts and
Yeah.
lattes.
Yeah.
Wild,
Yeah,
wild.
it's wild to see how things change like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was gnarly.
So how long like were you in your journey before you started thinking about coaching?
So actually, at BMTA, Bill and Steve gave me a Friday morning class. So I was able to
Okay.
start teaching a class, and it was just to continue to serve the morning population, which was really small. So it was like I almost couldn't mess it up. Um, So that happened for a little bit, and I got used to like kind of running a class. I would run it similar to the way Bill and Steve ran it, and then I would
Mm,
like start to get a little froggy and try new things. I would listen to what the people were asking for, and then when we left, and I went to Hard Knocks, and we were doing the best we can. It was cool. Bill started. It was supposed to be the BMTA, the extension of BMTA, but Bill and Steve didn't see eye to eye, unfortunately.
mm,
So it became Hard Knocks. It was supposed to be BMTA, Hyde Park, or whatever, but it became its own thing. So Bill started his own entity. It was really cool. Um, Started taking on prospects at a time. Like Bill was having me
yeah.
really dig into fight training and stuff like that. And then, I was covering a class here. I stopped fighting. I took a break for a little bit, went back to school, started to dip my toes back in the gym to help out with some of my old teammates. I would teach Monday, and I would come in for my buddy's class as a student on Tuesday. It was the last time I was a student. And then I would help out here and there. But I was still like working, and I was doing the Olympic weightlifting and stuff. And Bill ended up hurting his knee pretty bad. So he's like, hey, I need you to cover some other days. And I was like, yeah, I'll come in. And damn, and next thing you know, I'm teaching 4 days a week, and then it's 5 days
Yeah.
a week. I got a fight team. And I told myself after I was done, I went back to college and I got my degree, I was like, I don't think I want to teach Muay Thai. I think I want to do strength and conditioning, and like,
Mm,
because I know the fighter and I want to be able to. And I know I had a home at Hard Knocks. Like Bill would let me work with all the fighters, and I worked with a couple of them. One of them was my old teammate, and damn. And then you start holding pads for them because they need to fill in a gap. It's like, oh fuck, I love every second of this. And
yeah.
yeah, man. So probably like year 7 of fighting, year 7,
Okay.
year 8,
Started making that. Yeah.
and then I was done. And then I knew like this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
This is what I'm
Yeah.
doing.
Was there like a fight or something in particular that made you be like, okay, this like somebody that won an awesome fight or something, or you just started feeling like, ah, I really like this now?
Um, I think I won. I still knew, what it was? I got like a taste of watching me be part of someone else's success. That wasn't
Yeah.
like I was your clinching partner for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, that thing that we worked on and the part of the game plan that you implemented, that was partially because we saw eye to eye and we got a good connection. And then I was like, oh, it kind of feels like winning a fight when you're a fighter. Like you get these
Yeah.
like, and once I realized like at 28, like I don't need to be fighting 20-year-old kids, 19-year-old kids that don't pay bills. Like it's just, I know I can't. I just know I can't. So I was like, let me just do this to number one, maybe take the load off of Bill. Number two, make my old teammates continue their success at the end of their careers, and then selfishly get that little dopamine bump where
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I can still get this. And again, like I graduated with that degree, and I was like, I'm gonna be the guy who's like doing S&C from Muay Thai. Like Don Heatrick's cool and everything, but like I got it here in the States. Like I'm gonna figure this
Right. Right.
out. And I mean, yeah, and I went super hard like my first year or two. I still got my old notebooks, man. I look like the Unabomber, like some crazy scrawling. I got stacks of them. I bought Polar Heart Rate monitors, one of the cheaper ones for everyone on the fight team.
Yeah.
Um, and I was like recording numbers and stats. Like I had these people's heart rates and just their kind of their threshold levels for years, and even like fat mass and stuff. I got some other calipers and whatnot to do the job, but like obsessed,
Yeah.
obsessed. And it turns out you don't need to be that precise all the
Yeah.
time. But I had to like get that out of my system that I was like, yeah, I'm the man. This is what I can offer everybody. It was like, you got more to offer people than calipers on their muffin top and
Yeah.
tying them up to a heart rate monitor while they're sleeping. Like there's other ways to do this still. So, but it was
Yeah.
fun. I really enjoyed that like year and a half where I was just like chaotic about it. But it also, it put me on the map at our gym.
Right.
Um, and it made me like, oh, I'm a coach. Like this is what a coach does,
Yeah.
which is cool.
And you're still helping out with strength and conditioning now with the team?
So I'll program bag sprints and stuff like that. But like
Yeah.
at this point, can't remember who it was. One of my students was like, "Hey man, I was thinking of doing my buddy does strength conditioning X, Y, and Z." I was like, "Absolutely, like that'd be great. Let me see how it works out for you." And then I was like, "Oh, maybe I can outsource some of this stuff, and my pad holding and my game planning can get better," because I was
Yeah.
spreading myself really, really thin.
Mm-hmm.
And once they had success with a local strength conditioning coach, and me and the local strength conditioning coach started communicating, I was like, "I'm just going to keep sending people to you. Is that cool?" And he's like, "Absolutely." And,
Nice.
yeah. So now in terms of like the real strength conditioning, all of the fighters, they're going to like one of three people in our network, which is really cool. And
Yeah.
I have a good relationship with all of them. So it feels like I'm still involved.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I've always I've always, told like I'm just like, because that's not my expertise, so I'm just like, listen, like you should be doing it. I have the same like you, like I got a couple people that I know can help you with it that really know their stuff. We actually have a class on the schedule that's designed to be that, you know what I mean, like, and there's 2 days a week where it's, we let everybody know like this is geared more towards like being a more serious like athlete, and like a lot of the fighters that just kind of jump in there, which I'm like, it makes sense, it's fucking right here, it doesn't cost you anything, like, because that's I don't think a lot of people realize like strength and conditioning ain't cheap, especially if you're
Oh,
working with somebody who really knows what they're doing. And they got to get paid too, like it's not like these guys, even when they're a pro, are making the type of money where they can be like, well, I'll just cut you 10% at the end of my purse, or like,
yeah,
sure, I'll give
yeah,
you $50 at the, you know what I
yeah,
mean? It's like,
yeah.
so, yeah, I feel like that's definitely something that people got to figure out how to kind of work their way through one way or another. It's awesome if you have some people that are connected to the team that you can trust and stuff like that, for sure too.
Yeah, I mean, nutrition's the same thing. Like
Yeah.
these like I remember there was a time where it was like, "Oh wow, they have a nutritionist. We got to watch out for them." Where
Yeah.
now it's like, "Oh, you don't have a nutritionist? I'm gonna
Right,
block you."
right.
Like it's how it's flipped. Dude, when I was my first pro fight, which was Jesus, I can't remember, 20 if I JMT is 2012. It might have been 2012. Might have been, no, yeah, it was 2012. 2011. I reached out to Miriam Nakamoto, which is so cool. You guys are talking a ton about her on this. It's insane to me that not enough people know her name.
It's
And
insane. Yeah.
and start the counter. You better talk about your movie that you're gonna make where you're talking
Yeah.
about the OGs. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I know like she needs to be front and center. Like, dude.
Absolutely.
So I reached out to her. I emailed her. I just cold emailed her and I was like, "Hi, I'm about to have my first weight cut. I have no idea what I'm doing. Neither does my team. How do you do it?" And she
Yeah.
literally was just like, "Yeah, I understand. This shit sucks. FYI, here's what I do." So I did exactly what she did, which 100 and whatever pound woman and my little ass, I don't, probably
Right.
could have tuned it a little bit, but I just did it, man. And it was cool. She was like willing to send that to me. And I actually tried to find the email the other day after hearing your podcast you talked,
Yeah.
but super cool. So I just like sat in a hot tub for a long time, took a bath for a long time. It smoked. That was my first time like really cutting weight. And
Yeah.
it played into the performance. But after that, it was like, all right, there is a way to do this. There's a way the professionals do this. And they pay someone to do it. I need to start talking to people.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that was like, even in part of my degree was nutrition. So I was like, let me see what it would take to swing this into being an RD, because strength and conditioning is cool. I really enjoy it, but I need to see what else is open.
Yeah.
So actually, I ended up outsourcing this to my wife. She during the pandemic went and got certified Leith and Lockhart system,
Oh,
and then did her IS. I think it's ISSN.
okay.
Yeah, which it was like the big broad one that's recognized everywhere, but Lockhart and Leith is very specific. Uh,
Yeah.
and she was put on to that Lockhart and Leith through a very good friend of ours, Trisha Cornell, who
Okay.
part of Pride Martial Arts, where Ross Levine had trained before opening his own gym. And so we were a cool, tight knit family. And Jessie, like whatever she does 100%, just kills it every single, it's like home runs every single time. So she ended up doing nutrition for the whole team, still does. We again, same thing though. We do suggest people get like a real nutritionist. Jesse's good at
Yeah.
like taking the boat in the port and pointing in the right direction.
Right. Here's
But
a
like when it
basic.
gets to like, yeah, if
Yeah.
you got like some certain things that you need specialization on, like she's more than happy to point you in another direction. But
Right.
Yeah, Jessie does all of her weight cuts. She's, Excel sheets and notes on her phone. I used to do it, and I would just be like, "You eating enough? How
Right.
much water
Yeah.
are you drinking?" I would have an
Yeah.
idea, but it wasn't
What
like,
time of day are you eating carbs? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
I
I
was
think
mostly
that's
just
like
keeping.
little shit like that's always the big adjustment. Just like what time. I actually got really lucky early on. I started at Lloyd Irvin's gym and George Lockhart trained there.
Yeah, yeah.
So he would like give us all kinds of pointers, and I was actually Master Lloyd's video guy for a lot of stuff. So I was there like just watching all the like the whole process of their, but like there was no way to get into George's head and understand like what he understands unless you do a course like that, because like this motherfucker would be like, oh, what time is it? Oh, you gotta eat your 9 almonds right now, or you know what I'm saying? Like his shit is
Yeah,
like
yeah.
crazy scientific. So I'm actually planning to do the Lockhart and Leith program myself. Where I'm in the middle of selling my mom's house, and once that's settled, I have a little bit less on my plate. I'm gonna do it, and I don't even want to make money with it either. Just same thing. I just want to be able to kind of help out the team with some, just some extra stuff, So.
It's such a powerful tool. Like even to
Yeah,
have an idea of what to do. No,
absolutely.
it's not, the 9 almonds at 6:03 p.m. is awesome, but like if
Why?
a fraction
Yeah.
of that is powerful, man, especially
Yeah.
nowadays, because still a lot of people don't have nutritionists and
Yeah.
strength and conditioning coaches. They're still fantastic fighters, but like, why not be an incredible fighter when all you have
Yeah.
to do is adjust something like that, or you and I to have the power to help them get there? Super.
Right. Yeah, that's also she liked it though. She liked the course and
Loved
everything.
it. Loved it.
Yeah.
Anything information dense and like repeatable, consumable metrics, like she is just like a laser beam. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
I
What
mean,
does she do for a living?
so kind of on the same note, she works for Trader Joe's corporate. She's
Oh
a
wow.
product developer.
Oh
So
shit.
her job, dude, I'm not even kidding you, is to make snacks and dog toys. It's so sick.
Damn.
I don't mean to diminish her job because that's just a funny way we say
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
So originally she's a buyer. She was a buyer for Trader Joe's and several other companies. So forecasting, predicting trends, following trends, and stuff like that. And she's been very successful at her job. So she moved into this role a couple years ago, and within each role, there's the West Coast office and there's the East Coast office, and there's two product developers there and two here. Sorry, hon. I know I listen. I swear to God, I listen.
Yeah.
Um, they each have different categories, and sometimes categories shift around. But
Mm.
like just for instance, she just came back from Vietnam.
Oh
She was
wow.
checking out. So they either go to do some quality assurance for the plants that are creating their product, or they go and they source different materials. Like she's got a coffee joint in Thailand. So she's gonna go have
Oh
she's gonna
shit.
go to Thailand to check out these beans. She went to like Brussels for chocolate. She went to Korea for like a seaweed harvest or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, seaweed harvest. Yeah, man, her job. She actually. Oh, Vietnam was part of the Vietnam trip was one of her dog toys she created. She does a lot of the pet and household stuff. Her job's
That's
so sick,
sick.
man.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
But it was not easy to get it. It's not easy to keep it.
Yeah.
It's like pretty high demand. She's again, she's like the queen of like making everything like tight, compact, and efficient. So she gets her work done, but
Damn.
she's traveling a ton, which
Yeah.
is coming to a close internationally because she's 3 months out from having her first kid. So she's
Oh, congratulations.
thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
Let's go. Okay. So what's the plan like after, would she go back to that job later, or is it just like just focus on all this stuff for now?
Yeah, she's gonna get a maternity leave, and
Okay,
she
cool.
genuinely like loves the job. Like she
Yeah, yeah,
really
yeah.
loves her job. She has some
Yeah.
wicked cool coworkers, and she goes to these trade shows around the country where she sees some of her old coworkers who have moved on to other positions. So it's like
Yeah.
it's a really cool
It's
community.
like the Muay Thai community, but
Exactly,
yeah, yeah,
exactly.
that's fire. Oh yeah.
So yeah, she'll want to keep that job, and honestly, we couldn't have the life that we have and do the things that we do without her job and her. Um,
Same.
you know, like you
You
gotta.
not balling out over there, mate, with the Muay Thai gym? Come on, man.
No, surprise. I will I will always keep tight-lipped if there's anything about her job that kind of gets in the way or changes plans for us. Because
Yeah.
I mean, she could just straight up be like, "All right, you want me to quit?" Like,
Right.
nope.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my
Need health
God.
insurance.
Yeah, I know. I've been trying to convince Aaron because Aaron's a year into her. She has her own lab now at Hopkins. So I know it's insane. It's insane to even say it out loud.
Yeah.
She went to school. She actually graduated from there. She got her PhD from there, and then was at the NIH for like 8 years doing her postdoc. And then we got really lucky that there a position opened up like right when she needed one because otherwise we were looking at Utah and like all these other
Wow.
places and we basically would have had to go our separate ways for like 2 years because I had the lease on the gym and it was just like this crazy situation and then it just something opened up at Hopkins and but it's hard, you know, it's just like anything else where it's like that first year of any kind of business, you're just in there every day, just all day and you know it's been really rough. So I keep telling her, I'm like, man, the lease ends up this year. I'm like, you want to go to fucking Mexico? Let's get out of here. You know, I can
I
open
heard you
up a
saying
gym
that
over
the
there.
last one. Yep. Yep. Good for you, man. Shout
Yeah,
out to
man.
powerful wives, dude.
Hell
Shout
yeah,
out to powerful
absolutely.
wives.
Yeah, cheers to that. Cheers to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So, walk me through a little bit because like you guys have been tearing up for a long time. I remember like obviously I feel like the way I usually learn about the gyms I end up really liking is having to fight them one time. So
All
we
right.
my kid Jared Tipton fought Jose Rivera on a undercard of Lion Fight like back
Long time ago.
God, it was the second East Coast Lion Fight card, and they tried to move into the bigger theater. There was nobody in the audience for their fight. It was like no one showed up for the prelims except for Kevin Ross, which was
Yeah.
fucking insane.
Yeah.
We went out to dinner with him the night before. It was like I swear, like one of these days, I want to make like a animated version of like you ever seen those like where like rappers will tell crazy stories and they like animate or whatever. I've always wanted to make a cartoon out of this story with Kevin Ross because he hits me up. I don't know who it is. He texts me because he must have got my number from Kieran or somebody, and I'm like, who is this? And he's like Kevin Ross, and I'm like, fuck you. No, you know what I mean? I'm like somebody's fucking with me. And then I'm like, oh shit, it really is him. So he had came in because originally June from Setmonchay was supposed to fight on that card, and then his visa thing got messed up or something, and he had already got the flights and all that stuff. So he's like, "What are you guys doing?" I was like, "We're about to go eat." I was like, "I don't know if you want to." I'm like, "I'm just trying not to be rude." I'm like, "This he don't want to hang out with us," but I'm like, "We're about to go eat if you want to go." And he's like, "All right," and I'm like, "Oh, what the fuck? All right, cool." So we go pick him up and we eat. We went to we always go get hibachi after weigh-ins, and then uh, this is literally like one of the greatest nights of my life. So it's August 1st. It's like the 2 year anniversary of us the gym being open, and we were in online fight with two of our top amateur guys, sitting there eating dinner with Kevin Ross. And then we usually would go to a movie too if there was something cool out. Guardians of the Galaxy came out that night. So we're like, same thing. I'm like, well, listen, we're going to go see Guardians. If you want us to drop you off, no worries. And he's like, I'll go. And I'm like, what the fuck? So then we get there, he pays for the movie tickets or whatever for all of us, all four of us. Like
Damn.
he's just like Miriam and all the other people from that era. I mean, just like, you know, when people say, be careful meeting your heroes, like meet all of
Yeah.
them because they
Yeah.
were all incredible. Yeah, it was a really cool night. But yeah, then yeah, that Jared and Jose had a fucking banger fight,
Banger.
man. And
Yeah.
then obviously from then on, I was like, bro, Hard Knocks is the
Yeah.
shit. So yeah, walk me through that period a little bit too, like the Lion fight. And that was
Yeah.
when I feel like you know, East Coast, especially Muay Thai, was really starting to take off, you know?
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. You're absolutely right. That was like the big coming out party in terms of us like finally catching up
Hmm.
um, somewhere that wasn't New York or New Jersey, you know.
Right.
So yeah, it was really cool to have line fight in our backyard. Backyard, you know, Connecticut's our backyard. You call it that.
Hmm.
We it was pretty that iteration of the fight team. Like I was in and out, and it was like pretty new,
Yeah.
but it was like Hard Knocks. Like that was like Bill's calling card before I was like really involved. Was like everyone was just super fucking tough. Even BMT, like just like super tough. For what one may lack in skill, we never lacked in heart.
Hmm.
And then you know, I think the screws starting to tighten up a little bit as I became more involved, just because, you know, I saw what Bill had. We always call each other the hammer and the chisel. Bill was the hammer, I was the chisel. Because my first coach was Steve Soriano, who was Bill's coach. He was that like super fundamental traditionalist. He taught me about rhythm and patterns. And Bill was like, cool pattern. I'm going to kick through your block and break your leg. Like, you got to have those both. So it was cool to, you know, I'm thankful for Bill letting me, you know, plug and play a little bit. And we started to have tough people that could like pick up on timing. And then all of a sudden you're getting these guys who are like becoming pretty fucking good. Steve Walker is probably like the most decorated guy anyone in our lineage or any phase of our lineage has ever produced. Steve came about before I came back. So my last fight, I took a year off. And I was in the interim helping with Julio Pena and Liz Silvera. Julio was my old teammate, and Liz did her first Muay Thai lesson with me when I was like helping out at another gym.
I'm a big fan of both of them, not to cut you off, but yeah,
that's great to hear,
absolutely love both of them so much, man.
Great to hear. Those two really, like, there's one or two other ones from that generation. Flavio Brito's one of them, who really encompass like who we were and what we brought. Like, it was like just toughness first, and then some just like badassery behind it. But so I started to come back in. We started tuning some stuff up. So Steve was already pretty well decorated. He was an amateur. He had like 10 fights before I came back, close to that. And he didn't really like me when I first came into the gym. He wasn't like standoffish or anything, but I came in like a bat out of hell because I just felt like some people weren't treating Bill the way Bill should be treated. Bill was really busy with work and running the gym. So I came in and I just like did the thing that I do. And I was just an asshole to everyone who deserved it, even though they probably didn't deserve it, and made a bad name for myself. But, you know, I took a chill pill after I saw some of the excess fat leave the gym. And I was sent out with Steve and Liz for WKs, and I can't remember what year. It was like the last year. It was one of the last years where it wasn't at the fairground. It was at a school. I'm 99% sure you guys.
It was, I know it was New York 2016.
2016. Yep.
Yeah, New York 2016. That was the big one that like, and we ended up on, it was like probably the most people that ever signed up, and then we all only got like 2 fights because the brackets got all screwed up, and like half the people just rolled out and shit. It was so crazy.
Yeah, that last day they were calling. No one's coming to the ring. Yeah, that was crazy. So Bill was like, dude, I can't make it. Like, and I was like just starting to like to help out with the fight team, but I was like obviously way closer to Steve and me, Liz, and me and Steve hadn't really like talked.
Yeah.
So you go out with the big guy, and I was like, all right, okay. So we sat down for dinner after weigh-ins one night, and Steve was like, and like you've met Steve. He's a big dude.
Yes.
He's everything about him is big.
Yeah.
And I didn't know Steve. I just knew him. Like Steve, Liz talked highly about Steve, and she had told me even before I came out, I was like, hey, Bill's got this guy, Steve is really fucking good. And so I brought him out, whatever, sitting at dinner, and Liz went to the bathroom, and Steve looks at me and goes, yo, I didn't really like you when you first came to the gym. I was like, uh-oh, here we go. And then he looks at me and goes, nah, I think I like you a lot. And I was like, all right, let's talk about this. Let's talk about that. So we hashed it out, and there was just a miscommunication with another coach that was there. And yeah, it was cool, man. After that, like, I became Steve's biggest cheerleader. Like, I love that dude on every possible level there is. And he ended up fighting Tafon and Chukwi.
Yeah.
That was, and
was that at WKA's?
Yeah. Yep.
Fuck. Okay, I didn't even realize that. Wow.
That was the only dude in his division.
Yeah.
He was the only dude in his division. They fought the last day, and it was at like whatever the heavy. It wasn't 205. It was whatever was above.
Like 209 or whatever, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Light heavyweight. Yeah.
Plus, and there was like that was the unending.
Yeah.
So Tefon's a big dude, and you know he's not as tall as Steve, but I mean he was just
he's a fucking juggernaut. Yeah,
man, he hit Steve with the right hand, and I've never seen Steve react to a shot still to this day. But like Steve still won the fight handedly, but it was like, damn Steve, you can't get hit by this guy. You better keep your hands up. You better keep your hands up.
Yeah,
and yeah, man. So after that, we like, I was like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do. This is I'm a coach on the fight team for real. And then the next one was USMTO. The last time it was in New York, same thing.
Mhm.
Last time it was in New York, and we brought like 6 fighters, 7 fighters. It was Jesse's first fight. Um, it was like the first fight team that I cultivated. Like
Right.
at this point, Bill had been injured, so he'd been out, and I had been in charge of training these guys 5, 6 days a week. And yeah, man, it was that was it, man. I was like, this is I don't want to do anything else. This
Yeah.
is it, man. Like it was super cool. Like to see the biggest moment, like obviously my then girlfriend at the time, who I totally didn't think was cut out for Muay Thai, and I gave her so much shit when she wanted to fight. Um, she ended up fighting the girl who won the year before. So I was like, all right, hon, you're good. Just have some fun. And my little brother
Yeah.
was helping corner because he was active. And so, I'm cornering my girl for her first fight with my little brother. And Bill took a step back to watch. And then Jesse won. And she got a belt. And Bill was like, wow, dude, you did it. This is like,
Yeah.
and we had 3 other guys win belts. And he was like, dude, you're creating champions now. Like, you can do this. And like, we had a super, super cool moment. And the trust had never been higher at that point. And the gym was like buzzing after that. Buzzing.
Yeah.
I remember putting those belts on the wall. Man, I took 2 pictures from 2 different
Yeah.
angles. I was like, yeah, it was like 3 C-class USMTO belts. And I was
Hey,
just
they
like,
all
oh, yeah.
count, man. Shit.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
That was like the first biggest moment for me as a coach. And that was the drug, man. I wanted that
It is.
every weekend.
Yep.
Every weekend.
It is. Shit, some of these C class and B class brackets are I mean, they're way fucking harder than the shit like any kind of novice stuff that I had to deal with when I
Yeah.
started fighting, man. Like these guys are getting good fast. You know what I mean? And the brackets are big. I've had guys at WKAs. And we always do Muay Thai and kickboxing, but
Mhm.
they'll, get 6, 7 fights in a weekend and shit too. So it's like
Yeah.
it's exciting to see those, and then when they go to the open, it's like they're fucking ready for that shit, you
Yeah.
know?
I do feel like so like to really answer your question, like how we've been kind of picking up steam, it was the tournaments. We didn't
Yeah.
do tournaments with my generation. Bill wasn't a big fan of them. It took up too much time. There was the adage that was like, hey, you don't want to get too many fights with only one fight camp. Like you're gonna have one fight camp, but you're gonna have 3 more fights at the end of this. Like, are you ready? If you have 10 fights, but you've only had 5 fight camps, are you ready for a kid with 10 fights or 10 fight camps? And I used to live and die by that. And
Mm.
then now I'm kind of just like, you know what? If you train your kids
Fight's
good
a
enough
fight.
and you prepare
Yeah.
them, dude, it's a fight.
Yeah.
Just get your fight in. So after that, man, Bill was like, at the end, he was just like, I don't know if I want to do that again. That was a lot. It was insane. Da, da, da. And I was like, listen, man, like this is the move. Like this is
Yeah.
what we need to do. And then
Yeah.
after that, it was WKs and yeah, Grand Nationals. We've TBAs. We did TBAs 2 years in a row. I couldn't go the first year. I went last year. Um, we've done the USMTO West Coast twice. We did that East Coast. We try to do WKs almost every year. It's a little
Yeah.
tough now the way it's shaken out with like IFMA and stuff, how close together it is.
Mm.
But there's no greater value right now, and there's no better way to improve the way you coach, the way you corner, the getting that fight team together. Like really, man. Like I can't see myself going any other direction anytime soon.
Yeah. If I could do all tournaments, I would. That's like my favorite thing.
Yeah,
That's always
yeah.
been my bread and butter. They're just like obviously as coaches we get nervous. You care about these people and you're just like, oh shit, like yeah, okay, we covered everything, we're good, and then it's just like the night of like, and I think also even just the focus on everything, at the tournaments is kind of like everyone's watching obviously, but it doesn't feel like it as
No,
much. It feels like it's more about the fights, and I really enjoy that as a coach, and I enjoyed it as a fighter too, and I maybe even just growing up doing karate and TKD and stuff like that was just you did the tournaments were nothing. You win every weekend, like
yeah,
whatever karate TKD tournaments I could get to, like my mom would take me, I would go, and you don't really think about it as much, so I feel like that's carried over into this stuff, and then, yeah, those are definitely what I enjoy the most, honestly, at this point, But you guys have been fucking tearing it up though at the tournaments, man. Yeah.
cool, man. It's cool.
It's so awesome to see. I always I'll watch parts of the podcast back when I'm editing, and I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up, stop talking about yourself. But I always go back to the time period in 2017 when we were like 2016, 2017 when we were trying to get on the IFMA team. We went in 2017, and that was like kind of an unexpected opportunity. We were thinking, like with the path that we were on, maybe like 2018, we would try to get Aaron on there,
Hmm.
and Kieran saw one of Aaron's fights that she actually lost, and was just like, um, hit up Corley and was like, "Listen, this girl's tough as shit. Like, I know Jason, he's a good guy," and just kind of gave him uh his blessing to Corley, and Corley was like, "All right, we'll give him a shot," you know?
Sick.
And then she like really took that shit serious, obviously. And like that whole time it's like, we're here to get experience. Like, we can't beat these guys in the A class, this and that, you know what I mean? Like, and it wasn't like, it's not like trying to convince you of it. It's just like almost trying to like let you off the hook a little bit of like, if you get fucked up, it's okay. Like, you're supposed to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think just us being from Maryland a little bit too, like because now the rules are changed, but until recently we couldn't fight here. So we've always kind of had that chip of like, we're always somewhere else fighting somebody else on their home turf or whatever. So we're always kind of like, fuck that. We don't, who cares what, like, we know what we're doing too, and
Yeah.
then it's just so cool to see like TK and like the people that are going now that are just like you're almost like you'd be shocked that they don't win now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
fucking awesome, you know?
It's cool, man. It's
Yeah.
cool. I do fear that feeling though.
Yeah.
That like, hey, it's okay. Like I even told TK and I told Nick when Nick had a fight or two. It was like,
Mhm.
hey man, it's okay. Like I know your goal is to make it back to IFMA, but like you don't get there unless you do this. And if you do this to the best of your ability, there's a good chance you're gonna get there. However, we never know. Um, the brackets shook out such that like, TK had a hard fight with both her opponents, but like I didn't on paper. I was like, "Yeah, you got this. You just got to show
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
are everyone has off days. You can be 35
Right.
and you still have an off day, but it's like go out there, fight like it's the gold medal round in your next day. Like this is it, man. You got to
Yeah.
do this." And she's laser show, man. She shows up. I mean, you've seen her a million times. It's like
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
cool to see. And then like we got some other guys in the wings right now who are like not too far behind. Obviously, little Nick, Nick
Mhm.
Rossi. He's dude, he's just starting to like put it together. And I mean that
Yeah.
the best way possible. Like we call it thawing out. Nick is thawing out from being
Yeah.
a grumpy teenager. Like so going to Thailand and doing the IFMA thing and Greece and stuff really changed. And he's maturing too. Kid's only 21 years old. Uh,
Right.
he's had so much talent and so much like natural aggression in him that it's like we're now sharpening the blade instead of just swinging it around, which is cool.
Yeah.
And a lot of the stuff that he needs to tie up outside the gym, he's doing. And he's taking care of himself. He's taking care of his brain. He's taking care of his body. It's cool, man. We went from having, like I told myself, like sometime around when I was like recognized as one of the coaches at Hard Knocks, I was like, I'm gonna have someone on the IFMA team in the next 5 years, six
Mhm.
years. I know I can do this. Maybe I can be a coach. Blah 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 blah. And then it was like Grand Nationals 2 years ago. It was like, oh fuck, but we're gonna have a few of these on the team. It's
We're
pretty cool.
going. Yeah.
I guess we're doing this. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, it's cool, man. I didn't get a chance to do this stuff when I was in the game, but I fought guys who fought in IFMA, and I fought guys from the WK national team, and I beat almost all of them. And it wasn't by virtue of me being like better than them or me being. I was always less experienced. I was usually
Mhm.
smaller, but like I knew I could do it. I just didn't know how to. I didn't know what avenues to go through. So I just fought my fucking ass off. We took every
Yeah.
fight we could. I fought all the way up to 147. My last pro fight was 132. It was like you just do it, man. You just figure it
Yeah.
out and you do it. But now that like there's a clear cut path for these guys, we're not ignoring it. It's the way we go, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's been great to see because there was a lot of there's a lot of um animosity, I think, towards the process before when there wasn't a tournament. Like, how are people
Yeah.
getting picked and da, 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 and like, which is and shit. Like, there was a time where we were those people too, where I'm like, man, what the fuck? Like, I'm
Yeah.
like, these people are over there. They don't even do tournaments. Like, why are you gonna send somebody who's not a tournament fighter to like the hardest tournament fighter? But it's just like after getting into the process and seeing it, like you understand like all you got is like what you know about the tournament, which is obviously Corley knows the most because he's the damn president. So it's like Yeah, I'm sorry if I ever was a dick about any of that process before, because obviously you turned this whole thing around, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then creating the tournament and stuff like that, like that makes the most sense, I feel like. Because if you want to go, come fight for it, you know?
Yeah.
And then in those situations where you have somebody like TK where it's like, you know, the pressure is on her in a sense too. They're like, she's still got to win her way. It's not just a guaranteed, you know. So if people are feeling froggy and they want to come try to take that spot, you know, good
Yeah.
luck. But
Yep. Yep. That's what it's about, man. 100%.
yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
You know, dude, I find that like now that again with like so 2 years ago, 3 Grand Nationals ago, I think it was the first one where it was the invite only,
Hmm.
Colorado.
Hmm.
Jesse got the invite. Sean and I think Vinny vouched for her, and Jesse had like 8 fights. But she had always fought girls who were bigger and better, record wise, which was cool. And we were fighting at 105. She's a natural 99er, but you know those girls in her weight class are Yannette, Kennedy,
Yeah.
Jeannie, Teddy. Um, yeah, and then she was number 6. And I was like, I made a post about it. I was like, listen, like these girls are good. They have a lot of experience, but you're going to be at elevation.
Yeah.
We're going full cardio. You are
Yeah.
sprinting every fight that you get, every round that you get, and you're clinching. She has like this vice grip that belongs on somebody. No, I don't know how she fucking does it, man. But I was like, this is all you're gonna do. You're just gonna clinch. You can throw your
Yeah.
right kick, but you're gonna clinch. And after that speech, I was like, but it's also okay if we lose in the first round of the,
Yeah.
it's okay. You know, we're out there. People believed in you. You can do this. This is your thing. And she just looked at me. She was like, anything else? I was like,
Yeah.
oh, look at. She went out there early. Ebrey from Team Link held it down. She held pads for her before I could get out there. So she was around some familiar faces. And the rest is history, man. She only lost to Yannette in the finals, and it was a good fight.
Yeah.
But after that one, that was the other that like 4 minute, 5 minute, 4 minute mile, whatever the phrase is. I was like, oh, we can do this. Like I can get other fighters here. And then it
Yeah.
was boom. The next one we went to, which was the year after, we had that breakout, 6 gold medal year. But it was like Jesse was the one who like just wedged us right in there, and it was like, yeah, I can do this. We can do this as a team too. It's doable. Um, and I love that. I love that you can go in there with less fights, but just be a better fighter. It just
Right.
goes to show, like, especially when we go to IFMA and we're fighting kids from Russia and Belarus and stuff, like
Yeah.
they don't win, they don't beat us 100% of the time. They beat us more often than not, but they beat everyone.
Right.
But we have some guys that are putting them away for sure.
Yeah.
We can do
Yeah.
it. Imagine where this is going to be in 10 years.
Yeah. No, it's so exciting, and I love the you know, the kids too, and then the
Yeah.
adults that are going over there and having all this success. Like it just changes the mindset where we're not just going over there to like get the experience, like we're going
Mm-hmm.
over there to fucking win. And I think
Yep.
that's such an important state of mind to go over there with, is, you know, just leave it all out there and train like you're gonna win and do all the work and make sure that you do everything you can. Be ready to make weight every day and all that good stuff, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So talk and then talk. When did you open your spot?
So we're still in the process of opening it, but where the doors
Okay,
open to our students.
I knew it was getting close. Yeah.
Yeah, the doors have been open. We've been running test classes and
Okay,
building
cool.
um, for a couple weeks now. We're having some growing pains with like some of the logistical stuff. Like we put the bag rack in the wall a little too soon. They had to bring on an engineer to test the structural integrity of the wall. This company just
Mm.
bought these buildings 2 years ago, so they're
Okay.
like, as they're moving people in, they're finding out that like the dude before didn't really do things up to code necessarily. So
Mm.
yeah,
Shit.
so we're along for that ride, but
Yeah.
it's okay. This is supposed to happen. I'm
But you
supposed to be
think
down.
you think it'll open on schedule, like when you wanted to, schedule
Man, it was
wise? Or?
supposed to open up in February.
Oh,
We're looking at May right now, but
bitch.
we have an awesome group of people that came with us from Hard Knocks, and it's all love. The split was all love.
Yeah.
So, I'm constantly supported and motivated by them needing and wanting a place to train,
Hmm.
um, and to train to the level that we expect ourselves to train at. So, I mean, we're doing like we cobbled together the end of TK's camp. We're about to start our IFMA camp with no bags in the wall, but we're going to figure it out, man. We're going to work with
Yeah.
the engineer. I got the mats down. We got pads. We got our bathrooms. We got the main area built out. So we're like 60, 70% of the way there. So I think we're going to be able to open up in May and start to take in, the Gen Pop people. but it's supposed to be like this, man. I
Yeah.
know it's supposed to be like this. I've never heard of
Yeah.
somebody opening up smoothly.
No shit. I mean, when
But
we moved,
your story is
yeah,
nuts, man.
bro, it's so crazy. And it's like I mean, they like destroyed my business. You know what I mean? But I'm excited because my lease ends in October. So yeah, we're gonna sit down at the table and we're gonna talk about that 6 month period of permit and all that shit. And I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, remember when you fucked my shit all up? Yeah, like,
yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna need some months. I'm gonna need some
Yeah,
months
man.
on the beginning of
Absolutely.
this lease. So that's cool, man. I'm excited. Obviously, we want to make a trip up
Love
when
that.
you're all situated and stuff. I'd love to bring the team up. You guys dominated this year at Grand Nationals. It was really
Thank you.
cool to see. It's cool to see those rankings go up too, and see some East Coast teams tearing it up like that.
Yeah, man.
Obviously, love to see you guys up at the top of there and East side too.
Dude.
Jose and I go way back also. So Aaron and Jose's this it's somebody he was dating way back then. It's like maybe 2010 or something like that. We had always ran into each other at these smokers out in his area, and Aaron, who wasn't my girlfriend at the time, and his girlfriend ended up doing their first smoker together. So yeah, we've
No kidding.
Jose been going at it and been super cool for a long time now, like 15 years now too. So it's awesome to see how far he's come as well.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Jose. He really I learned a lot from him, Danny and Aziz, when we were out for the kids.
Yeah.
Um, when we went to Pan Am's, actually, this is a funny story that I'll tell until I die because it's just a good amount of self-deprecating. But Jessie fought, my wife fought, so she couldn't make the adult IFMA that she qualified for. She was just working stuff. But we were good for Pan Am, so we went to Pan Am's, and she got matched with this girl that TK fought at 118
Oh wow.
back at TVA 2 years ago. This girl's fighting at 105.6. And like when they gave us the name, I was like, "You sure?
No
Let's go."
way. Yeah,
And
yeah.
no, the girl already had a fight at 105. So I was like, "All right." So again, I had the conversation with Jesse. I was like, "Hey, we can do this. We can do
Yeah.
this. But just so you know, it'll be okay. Girl's pretty big." But
Right.
yeah, man, Jesse lost the first round, won the second round, and the adjustments that were made. So me and Jose co-cornered, and I was just telling her what not to do. And then I gave the mic to Jose, and Jose was like, "Jesse, look at me." I mean, Jesse and Jose had been in the same room for 4 hours prior to
Yeah.
that. And he was like, "You're going to punch before every single kick. That's all I need you to do. Do you
Yeah.
understand me?" And she was like, "Yep." And that's exactly what she did. She didn't do what I told her not to do. She did exactly what Jose did. And that's why she won the fight. And I
Shit.
looked at Jose, I was like, anytime you want to corner my fighters, make sure
Yeah.
that. So, like, potentially my wife's last fight,
Right.
Jose was
Yeah.
like, the driving force, which I mean, I couldn't be any more proud of her ability to listen to some dude she just met that I had been talking about for 3 months at this point already. Because
Yeah.
he's just such an impressive cat, and we got along really well, and we had some funny crossovers in our Muay Thai career. But yeah, man, shout out to Jose and East Side, and going back to what you were originally saying, it's really cool, and I'm really honored to be able to be mentioned, our team to be able to be mentioned amongst East Coast big guys like you guys, East Side, Sitan. Like I looked at you guys all the time, everywhere, and I was like, we can do this. We can be up there. It just isn't gonna happen right now. And
Yeah.
we did it, man. We did it, and we're like no better company. It's no
Yeah.
better
Yeah.
company than
You
you
guys
guys.
are top dogs, man.
No
Absolutely.
better company than you guys, man. Really,
Yeah.
it's
Oh
very
gosh,
validating.
I'm honored to be in the same conversation as you, man. You guys
Yeah,
are crushing it. So,
appreciate
and let's go tear it up in Turkey.
it. Oh man, I can't wait. Super
Yeah,
pumped.
I know that's one of the other really fun things about the international stuff is getting that opportunity to like work with the other coaches and even corner together and stuff like that and pick up things. Like I honestly have learned so much over the years going to the international tournaments like the WK Worlds and the IFMAs and WACO and all this stuff. Like I learned so many little things from all these high level coaches. That's always an exciting part of the experience to like, okay, let's see what kind of little tips I'm gonna pick up this time and make me a little bit better at my job.
Yep, and you gotta we can't not continue to grow.
Yeah.
We can't. Our fighters will smell it eventually. And if you're not the kind of coach who's willing to pass off your highest level person to another coach to either help coach, co-coach, or just to take on full time, then you're not a coach, man. You're like a jealous ex-boyfriend. Like
Yeah.
you gotta let these people, you gotta facilitate growth. And if that means swallowing a big old rock, it happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, hey, brother, I really appreciate it, man. This was awesome. It was so good to like really get a chance to finally sit down. I appreciate your time and everything.
Likewise, my
Uh,
friend.
thanks for coming on. I'm gonna get this one. I'll be up next week, so it'll be up on Wednesday, 9 a.m. And I'll
Very
come up,
cool.
I'll cut up some clips and stuff like that to put out there too. So, yeah, thank you,
Oh,
brother.
yeah.
I really appreciate it, and I'll see you soon, man. We're going to Turkey.
Yes, sir. It was an honor, my friend.
All right, boss. Thank you, brother.
Be good, kid. We'll see ya.
Yes, sir. Peace.